Johnny the fuck Minerals, who I don't even view as a real human being.
It's guys like Minerals.
Let's have it right.
He's not on my radar. I don't care about him.
You got the Minerals to
one of them brown envelope mobs.
No Minerals.
Minerals.
The realness of this guy.
Let's have it right.
Respect.
do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
The realness of this guy.
Minerals. Let's have it right.
Minerals FC.
Need proper winning Minerals, mate.
Let's have it right.
Respect.
I'm just a brown envelope, or I'm
Absolutely screwed. Let's have it right.
Brown envelopes.
You brown envelopes from the club.
You got the Minerals to fight for his place.
You are in the woods wronging. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you taking the time out to say that. Cheers. This one's for you. Greetings from Centre Parks, by the way. That's the background. I hope you're all well. This is just ridiculous, though, isn't it? The Minerals.
Minerals FC. Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
Johnny the fuck Minerals.
The Minerals. In them, we know that they have the minerals. We've not.
There's Minerals that you need.
It's guys like Minerals and
You got the Minerals to
Let's have it right.
Minerals.
Johnny Minerals.
like Minerals is one of the very vociferous Chelsea fans.
Minerals FC mudded me. I couldn't give a shit about that guy.
Let's have it right.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking Minerals, mate.
Can everybody just stop getting shot? So have it right, up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC, big up to every single one of you live and locked in. I hope everyone is doing well, winning in life. First and foremost, I want you all to smash to piece that like button. If you haven't smashed it, smash it right now. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so. We've got the notification bell, ding dong, let's have it right, so you know when we go live. And we've got the Minerals FC Ultras membership down below in the description. Salute to all the Minerals FC Ultras. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things they'll never see. And salute to the no surrender mentality. So let's get straight into it. As we all know, today it broke out. TalkSPORT arranged a call with Chelsea supporter Steve, who wanted to speak, and they wanted to find out about the protest from Chelsea supporters. And who none other than other Simon Jordan and Jim White were there. They're the ones to take the call. They were the ones to, well, let's have it right, try and get the goods. Now, Steve's gone on there, and before he goes on, this is what Simon Jordan said. He said, I would have thought they're the perfect owners. They're spending money like drunken sailors called Chelsea supporters. That's what the Chelsea supporters said. A bunch of ingrates, he says, plastic fans. Now, let's have it right, Simon Jordan, yeah? It's an outright disgrace you're calling them plastic fans because they want to protest. There are 1, 2, 3 generations of Chelsea supporters that want to attend this protest. We're talking die-hard Chelsea, yeah? Proper Chelsea, yeah? Not plastic. So that's what you want to open in. You introduce Steve on. Let's have it right. Steve made quite a few errors on that. Let's have it right. Got kippered by Simon Jordan. And where does he get kippered? Straight away, you want to go and debate Simon Jordan, then you've got to know how to land it with him. And the reality is, if you're going to go with him with figures, make sure the figures are spot on. I'm going to land the figures. And I'm going to land the facts. And this is what should be said to him. Because I'm going to be honest with you. The way Simon Jordan spoke, brown-nosing these clowns at our football club that have destroyed our football club beyond repair, that Chelsea supporters have no idea about. He wants to come and feed an agenda on our Don Roman and treat Don Roman with that disrespect. And this is what he said. He said, because you had a Russian oligarch that decided to be a registered charity to ultimately put your football club in existential jeopardy. No, he didn't. We might have been in debt. Every football club in football's in debt. Every club. There is not one club that's not debt-free. No one's debt-free. Roman run us as an elite football club. Roman had Cobham Academy. He had our brand built up. The biggest in London. winning Champions League, Super Cup. It's not a charity. What's a charity is that when he bought the club, he says, I'm not here to make money. It's too risky to make money in football. I'm here to have fun and win. These owners have come in and said, we want to build business. It's more important to build business value than win or lose on the field. We want to go with a multi-club, a beachhead, monetized content. Brighton's the best run club in the Premier League. We're going to go with a low wage structure. We're not going to buy experienced players on a high wage structure with no resale value. We want a brand, create the bigger brand. Bowley coming in. We want to change the pyramid of football and the fabric of football to generate more money. Bowley sitting on as a director on Vivid Seats and part owning Vivid Seats, skimming the Chelsea supporters at our football club. Taking away the opportunity for members to actually get tickets and selling these tickets for astronomical prices. Conflict of interest. Sitting as a chairman at Chelsea Football Club earning 20 million a year. Played sporting director himself with Egbali and spent 635 million in the first 2 transfer windows. Roman didn't operate like that. Roman operated as an elite football club. These lot are operating like a hedge fund. They're from equity. They have investors. They're a consortium. They're only in it to make profit. So to disrespect Roman Abramovich, like where his money's come from, it doesn't matter where his money's come from. Do you think all the other club owners, where he's buying players from, do they care? Does the Premier League care? Did the NHS care? Did all the charities he supported care? No one spoke about it then. But I tell you who did care, the UK government, because when Jim White says, well, how did it end with Roman Abramovich? Well, we all know how it ended. Why are you asking that question? And then Simon Jordan wants to say, you're rewriting history. We're not rewriting. You asked the question. So let's answer the question. Why is Roman not at his football club no more? Because of what? He's got some sort of ties with Putin. Like Roman Abramovich is the sole advocator for the war between Russia and Ukraine. Get out of here. This was an opportunity for the UK government who've been trying for 5 years to get Roman Abramovich out of Chelsea so that they can take what? His billions. They've still got his billions and they're in the bank account earning interest, the 2.5 billion. Plus, he wrote off the 1.7 billion debt to this ownership. And said to this ownership, let me explain the finances, because I think it's very important that people understand we explain the finances of how this deal operated. This ownership, as you've heard Jim White and Simon Jordan say, that they bought the club for 2.5 billion quid. Cut price, discounted price. And Roman wrote off 1.7 billion debt. But the agreement between Roman was a Glazer clause to protect debt. So he's left you debt-free, and his agreement is to say, I want you to invest minimum 1.2 billion into Chelsea over a period. These owners bought Chelsea Football Club for 2.5 billion. But you have to ask, where's the rest of the money come from in order to actually run Chelsea Football Club? So let me explain to you how the Glazer clause is, once you've spent that 1.2 billion, you can go out and strip the club of anything. So let's put it up right now. This is written by Greg Cordell. This is public information. And we're going to go all the way to Chelsea. And all clubs are here. He breaks down the finances from all clubs. This is Chelsea Football Club. Blues Investment Midco LP, a Clearlake Capital Group owned investment vehicle. Beneficial owns 61.5% of all entities in the Chelsea network. And League and Club Strasbourg. Clearlake's main principals are co-founders Egbali, Joseph Feliciano. The remaining 38.5% is held by the Todd Bowley-led Blueco 22 Holdings LP. All right? Where he's got Wiz and Waters and all the other lot. Supplemented notes, Clearlake Vehicle controlling party owns Class A shares in 22 Holdco Limited, while the Bowley-led vehicle owns Class B shares. So I'll explain what that means anyway. Holders of Class A shares have downside protection upon return of proceeds, with Class B holders absorbing losses first in the event of a loss upon return of capital. So Bowley and the consortium are more vulnerable to losses than Clearlake. Clearlake have a sort of protection, a blanket insurance policy with the Class B. Yeah. So there is a notable amount of the holding company holdco debt in the capital structure to include high interest payments in kind debt with 22 Holdco Limited, rate of 12.96% as of end of June 24 per Ares Capital Corporation's second quarter 2024 financial report. Now, it's documented in the Financial Times that we were injected with 500 million. That 500 million has come from Ares Capital Corporations. It's Ares Management. The diagram below, I'll blow it up for you. You can see Clearlake side, Blueco side. Holdco Limited is the subsidiary, and Blueco 22 there. 500 million from Ares Management at a 12.96% interest. Yeah? On top of that, they borrowed 702 million from the banks at a lower rate of 3.25%. That's 1.22 billion that they have brought into the club, loaned. But the difference is Ares Management is a preferred shareholder. So now that means Ares Management they have created a floating rate of the 12.96%, which equates to, on a 10-year plan, a return for Ares Management of 1.7 billion. They have to be paid that money return first before Clearlake and Bowley's group. So before Blues Investment Midco and Blueco 22 Holdings LP. Then Clearlake can take their money out, and then Bowley can take their money out. That's how it's constructed. So why I'm explaining this is because Steve went on there and said we're in 140 million debt. We're not 140 million in debt. We're in 1.7 billion debt. There's a major difference here. And they've already spent, 1.7 billion according to 10 years. We're actually 1.22 billion in debt already. And this was taken out in 2022-23. So we're already a year into this now, if not more, with that interest. So I'm no mathematician, but what I know, the whole PR is they're here for 10 years. Well, let's have it right. 10% return for Ares Management. You're looking at 1.7 billion return. They are literally tripling their money. The banks are making money. They've got to be paid back. How? How are they going to be paid back? Because Ares Management is a private equity fund, they've been given a preferred share within Blueco, which means they're kind of like part of the ownership. But no one wants to talk about it. It was mentioned on Financial Times, but no one went into it. So Blueco, let me put it into context. Blueco have to triple the value of Chelsea Football Club just to match Ares dividends return at a 13% rate, or the 12.98% rate, income investment. And it's contractual, it's contractually obliged to be paid back at a set agreed rate. So they can't change the rate. That is the rate. Look at how high that rate is. They couldn't loan anything more from the banks. So they had to go to Ares Management. Ares Management are linked to Miami Dolphins. They're well known in NFL and American sports. So that's the link there, right? What these lot are counting on is the franchise value of Chelsea Football Club. So when they sell, they can sell the franchise, the brand, and the model. The model at Chelsea Football Club, which is why it cannot be changed, is dictated by the fact that they've taken this money. It's technically not a loan, but they've had this cash injection. Plus Clear Lake got all their investors in Clear Lake. Bowley's got his investors, Wiz and Walters, and everyone wants to get paid. They have almost promised, we'll give you 3 times your money back. And they need 10 years, which is where this 10 years lock-in come on. But the beauty is, these lot can, at any moment, with Aries management, say, we're going to sell the club and we will pay you what we owe up to that time we have loaned or borrowed that money at that rate. So the only model that they can implement is not a model like Roman Abramovich. It's not a model like Man City. It's not a model like Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. They have to go with the Brighton model to buy young with high resale value on long contracts because they need a stretch of time to do it. And they are buying multi-clubs, and they've broken up every asset at Chelsea. And Strasbourg is one company. Everything's under individual companies of 18 companies under Blueco, which is all public information. So they want to create an overall value of Blueco, not Chelsea Football Club or Strasbourg. But the beauty is for these lot and where they want to go, because they're equity merchants, have it right. They want to build the value up to show the model that's structured in place, that this is how it makes money. We have started it, we've built it, and we're proving that it works. There is no chance you're going to win under this model because you cannot go in the market and buy elite players. You cannot break the wage structure because they financially can't do it. Let me explain to you. After the 5 transfer windows, they'd already spent 1.5 billion. They've got whatever their net worth spend is. They've sold all the Cobham players. They've got their maximum pure profit. They are now in a position why we didn't go in January or buy any players because they have to sell to buy now. We are now a sell to buy club. They're not going to get any more cash injections because then that means that they've got to sell the club in 10 years for 10 billion. And they're banking on, the risk is they're banking on the model showing that it financially operates and you can make money, and the franchise model is elite, which generates all the money, which is why you've got Vivid Seats, why you're trying to brand, why you're trying to branch off with multi-clubs in order to generate as much return for all the investors involved. And the scary thing is Aries management are the main body that will get their return immediately. So these clowns have to sell the club for 10 billion. Literally. It's not going to happen. You can't sell it for 10 billion in 10 years because we will be buried as a football club on a football level. The model is based upon football. It's not based upon, the model should be based upon football, but it's not. It's based upon business and finance. And that's why the Brighton model is the only model that would allow them to actually go and buy the club off Roman and implement this whole blueprint. Do you understand how serious this is? This is a serious debt on our football club. And they've stripped all the assets into separate companies. So if you want to talk, if everyone wants to talk finance, and I'm not even going into it on a deep level, but if you want to talk finance, then you get professionals on. That is a rough summary of where we are on a financial level. We're 3 years into our project, this so-called project. They've gone through 3 managers. They spent 1.5 billion. We do not have an elite spine. We don't have an elite team. We are not ready to compete. You've gutted everything out of Cobham. You've literally gutted everything out of Chelsea. You're bringing professionals like rugby players and freelance medical teams to this football club. All right. People that are not qualified. Cobham Academy is a joke. It's not even academy. Our first team's an academy. It's an advertising pool of players to ship them out. And you've already seen it. Felix coming in, selling him on. Hutchinson, Moreira's. You've seen the Lewis Halls go. You've seen the Matsons go. Mason Mounts. Havertz. All the players on high wages, they're all going to be gone. Chilwell exiled. Trev Chalobah will be sold for profit. Everything's for profit. Everything's to generate as much profit because of the amount of money they've got to repay back to the people that have put money in. Because they don't have the money. They're opportunists. And only this model can work with how they are on a financial scale. So we are fucked. They have to sell players to buy. You're not going to get players on high wages. You're not going to buy your elite players. So you tell me, Simon Jordan and Jim White and Chelsea supporters, tell me, all right, you're asking to change the model. If they wanted to change the model, they would have done it because it's failing ever since they started it. The ultimate fact is they are not even in a financial position to change it and they don't want to change it. So when we talk about footballing terms, footballing level, you ain't even got a front of shirt sponsor and they're meant to be savvy business billionaires. They're banking on a big paycheck. They're banking on Champions League. And how is that looking for us? Third year in, no Champions League football, no trophies, no competitive levels. All trust the process and all because of the PR. And all these accounts and all the YouTube accounts have played their role and all the journalists have brought us to where we are. This project, like Nagelsmann said, is not built for football. It's built for money generating. This team we got, where's the money coming from to go out and repair the damage that's been done? They've got Jim White and Simon Jordan saying, well, you're not happy with Caicedo? You're not happy with Enzo? You're not happy with Cole Palmer? Yeah, we're happy, yeah. Well, not Enzo, fuck off. What are we doing here? Yeah? Caicedo and Palmer, fantastic. You named two of the top players, in fact, the best Chelsea players, but you forgot to mention the other 44 players we got that they bought that are not good enough. And they're not Chelsea level. You forgot to mention the goalkeeper and the defence we got. The fact that we've got injuries galore. The fact that we don't have a finished article, midfield or spine in our team. We haven't got an elite striker. Everything's done on opportunity and business focus and on monetary decisions. For example, they bought Sancho. Why? 25 million discount. They'll pay the wages. We'll loan him. We'll keep him at Chelsea. And then we'll flip him for profit. We'll sell him for 50 million. That's 25 million in a year. Thank you very much. That's their mentality. Cole Palmer, perfect. Build him up, long contract. You got leverage in negotiations when a big club comes in because he's not getting Champions League football. The club will come in and say, we'll pay you 110 million. We'll pay Palmer, we'll pay you 300 grand a week. Bosh, thank you very much. We'll bank on that. His depreciation on the 2 years he's been here, on the books, he's not 45 million what he cost us now. It's on the books 25 million. And we've just bankrolled 110. That's how it works. That's how they work. No one mentions, right? No one mentions this because you don't do your research. See, public information doesn't seem to be used by the public. And they've hid that very, very well. Well, now it's out in the open. The model will not change. Get that in your head. So if the model's not going to change, do you think that they're going to listen to anyone? If you all sit back, like most supporters are sitting back and they want to see because it's based upon results. Have we not had enough sample size of 3 years of results? Have you not had enough sample size of their recruitment policy? We've got them PRing that the directors are under no pressure. Why? Why are they not under pressure? They've been fucking terrible. They're useless. Why? Because they're yes men. They're part of the layer cake. Every manager, yes man. Since Tuchel, every manager's been dictated and controlled. Enzo Maresca PR is we're happy with his style of his football all of a sudden after the TalkSPORT call. We're very happy with his performances. We're very happy. We're very happy. We trust in him. He's here for another 4 years. He's the right style of football. All this waffle. The geezer just come out and said, you said that he doesn't need to get Champions League this year, and he's got 2 years to get Champions League. What's this? We've had 3 years of it already. Our Chelsea support's going to wait. No. Well, they seem to be waiting. Chelsea supporters seem to be waiting. I don't think Chelsea supporters realise how serious this is. Because this team we got in the January window, they made us weaker. Because the finances weren't there to make us stronger and repair the damage, because they can't repair it. So, if they sack Winstanley and Stewart, they'll replace them with another inexperienced yes man to control, because they are put in place, like the managers, like the directors, by design and dictated by the model that they have implemented at Chelsea for only one thing, is financial gain. Profit. So when John Obi Mikel says, if you can't buy Chelsea and you have to, and you're not trying to win, and we're about winning trophies, and it's just about profits, you can fuck off. Well, that's the point. That's the point of a protest. A protest is to stand up and say, we can see what you're doing to our club. You're not running our club how it should be run. You're not running it with intent to win. You're not running it. Everything's there to prove that they're not. Everything's there. It's all there. But what are we turning a blind eye to? What are we waiting for till it's mathematically incorrect? So another season goes. End of the season. Are you going to protest then when the season's ended? When's anyone going to protest? Do you not want to protest? Why? What are you waiting for? What, you're counting on something? You think this project's going to work? It hasn't worked for 3 years. Why is it going to work? A lot of these players are unhappy and don't want to be here. No one talks about that. The recruitment strategy has been disgusting. It's a joke. How they got this far is ridiculous. It's beyond me. It's actually beyond me. But it's PR. Everything's PR. Use the Fabrizios, the Ornsteins and all these lot to PR, overhype these players and these great deals, and we're going in the right direction and we're really excited about the future. How much more time do you want to give? Because they're only interested in profit. I've made an entire video. I've been exposing this for over 2 years. I've heard them speak and they never mention winning trophies. They only mention how to make profit. But the PR's got you all mugged off. That's the reality. Everyone's mugged off with the PR. Everyone. Not me. A lot of people ain't mugged off. But it seems like there's a divide. There's a divide because of the bought accounts. The ones that have been allowing us to be in this position and put us in this position because of all the PR. They pay for the PR. So let me explain to you it, and let's have it fucking right. The protest is the one thing they do not want, because what the protest does is it fucks their image. It makes noise. You get the press on it. Today, Steve went on there and he wasn't prepared enough. Let's have it right. You've got to land the points. You've got to say it on a football level and a financial level. They don't communicate with the fans, the supporters. I agree with that. So what do we get with the PR after? On the 27th of February, all of a sudden, Bowley's going to speak to the public and mention about Chelsea. Well, let's hope you speak about Vivid Seats. Why was Vivid Seats not brought up? It's criminal. Why is no one talking about it? Why is he not addressed the Chelsea Supporters Trust? So he's going to talk about that. He's going to talk about trust the process. We're on course. It's exactly as we drew it up again. What are you going to tell us? How much more PR? So he's put it after. So he knows the protest on the 25th. They all know. They're fully aware, the owners of the protest. Fully aware. And they know what their investors are going to be asking. If that protest goes ahead and those banners go up and it's clipped and journalists get hold of it, bad publicity. And they care about public image because they are desperate for one thing and one thing only, time. They need time. The more time they get, the more time they can get the machine that they built by design on a financial profit-making level to operate as they want it to. And by then, Chelsea ain't going to be winning nothing. We ain't going to be competing. We're not being run like any club. If you had true ambition, you'd look at Man City's model. You go and look at Real Madrid's model. You'd spend properly. You wouldn't spunk 1.5 billion as like drunken sailors. Let's have it right. Oh no, they spent the money quickly because they wanted to take the 2 hotels for PSR reasons and try and mud Roman that we're in financial difficulty when he waived the debt. Oh, we're in financial difficulty. No, you're in financial difficulty. You're in debt. You've got a lot of people to pay. And I said, when I first found out about these lot over 2 years ago, it's the model they're going to implement that they are banking on in 10 years to sell that model under Blueco, the company, to sell it for 10 billion, 11 billion. That's the golden ticket. We as Chelsea supporters cannot allow that. We cannot allow that. It's very convenient Bowley wants to speak out 2 days after the protest. There's no coincidence with that. It's very coincidence today you get the sporting directors saying how they got all. What did they say exactly? I want to say exactly what they said. Yeah, the sporting directors. Where are they? At director and ownership level, they too are frustrated. They want to win. Their path is acute, and there is an acceptance within that the team are living a bad moment. All right, cool. Let's see, shall we? Let's see. But let's have it right. It's been 2 weeks since Bowley hasn't said nothing, not a single word, not a single word. The Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart retain the full trust of the Chelsea ownership, despite the criticism frequently directed at them from the supporters. That's via The Athletic, coincidentally. So you've got TalkSPORT in the pocket. You've got, which I believe Steve set up there, set up with 2 people that had a script to speak and ask the questions and push the agenda on the side of the ownership, clear as day. Clear as day. And now you've got all the PR that they're going to back the manager. The manager's here for the long haul. It's all trust the process. Listen, I've just seen that little Maxi, Pies and Mash, had the chance today to meet Chelsea director Danny DeFink, who was saying, oh, please, can I urge you to not be negative about the owners DMing people? He's gone and met him in London and said, Daniel really does great work behind the scenes with the fans. Thank you for your time. Listen, Pies and Mash, you're a fucking disgrace. You ever want to try and insult me that you're not dictated and you're not in an engagement group and you not got the narratives to push out, you're a fucking disgrace. You're a liar. You're an absolute disgrace. All of you, the whole lot of you. This is why we are now, where we are now. Facts. So, I'm going to say this very bluntly. Be very, very careful what you wish for. Be very, very careful. Roman Abramovich's chance is lovely. It's great. It's a start. I've been calling that for almost, a year and a half. In fact, I was in the ground chanting Roman Abramovich when we were last season. And it's come back again because they spent 1.5 billion on what? What have we bought it on? What elite players? What quality? All these players are getting loaned out, brought in 6 months later, sold, loaned out. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, and it's a fugazi. So, Chelsea supporters, I'm going to say this. It will come to the point, it's already late. I mean, I know it's done. I know our club's done. I know our club's buried. Our club's buried. I'll be honest with you. But if you allow it to continue anymore, because these owners can sell their share, their consulting position, and they have to buy out, they have to pay off Aries management. Once they've done that in the bank and they sell the club, they can take whatever profit they get from when they sell the club. But someone's going to have to buy it for at least 7 billion right now. So you can only rely on a Saudi. They don't want to let go because they want to get the investment, but the protests and continuous protests can't be just one. It's got to be momentum, constant protest, because it's going to, I promise you, it's going to come to that point. It's going to come to that point where we're going to be Manchester United protesting and protesting and protesting. And it's going to be so far in the project, they ain't going to want to let go because they're blood-sucking vampires. And you're going to allow them to implement the model that they want. And they're already getting that money to pay back so that they can then go into, instead of arrears, they're into profit. Stop exploiting loyalty stems from Bowley and Vivid Seats. Stems from all the other American owners and other owners, not just American, but they are skimming supporters and they are overcharging for tickets. They don't want the cultural old school supporter no more. They want to build the franchises, big stadiums, take the soul, the DNA out of football, change the game, the fabric of the game, and charge astronomical prices because it gives them money in the pocket. So when Simon Jordan discredits that the Chelsea, that the supporters are just the heartbeat of the club, you know, but they don't run the club, we fucking own the club. Because without the supporters, you're done. What these owners are counting on the franchise, those supporters, the ones we will call tourists, one time at the stadium supporters, pay $3,000 a ticket supporters, 10 grand a ticket supporters, 20 grand a ticket supporters. Well, let's have it right. What atmosphere are you going to have? The game's in such danger of losing all of its life and soul. And that's why all clubs are coming together to fight against exploiting loyalty. Because these lot don't give a shit about supporters. They called us customers. So the reality is, when is everyone going to actually unite? Because no one's united. Everyone's trying to say, let's be united. You're not united. Oh, it's changed the model. Well, go and watch this and tell me that they can change the model. You're a long way from that Super Glamour, mate. You're a long way from it all. If you think that they can change the model, no chance. And they're already 3 years into it. Nah, ain't happening. We got what we got. This is the pool of players we got. They have to sell players to generate money to buy so-called better players. But what players are you going to buy us? Because you're not going to break the wage structure. Is that when Chelsea supporters are going to protest? Are you not protesting after this January window? What a disaster that was. You were crying about Garnacho. They couldn't sign Garnacho even if they tried. They were counting on Nkunku going on the other way. They rely on trade deals. That's the reality. It's Moneyball, NFL mentality. That culture. It doesn't work. They're bringing in a model into an elite football club that has never worked in the history of football. They are building we've got the youngest team in the league, if not in Europe. And you're expecting us to go and challenge and win titles. But don't worry, we need another 5 years to win something, Enzo says. Another 5 to 10 years. But we've already had 3. Well, where are we going with this? I'm not waiting. Who's waiting for that? And it's sad. Do you know what? It's actually sad how our fan base is, because they've created this divide and conquer. They've created the divide in the fan base using all these fucking blue ticks and all these YouTube platforms and giving out all these benefits, like Finkelstein giving out benefits and gigs and giving it all the high and mighty to get people on board. They got the media game tapped up. TalkSPORT, all the journalists, Matt Law, Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, Ben Jacobs, Nizar Kinsella. Where's Vivid Seats talk, mate? Didn't talk about it, did ya? Keep it on the hush, mate. Let it simmer. Let it simmer. Of course, let it simmer. So everyone wants to wait for Bowley to speak, to give you jargon to justify why he's got Vivid Seats, and you're all going to accept it. Oh, what are we doing here, man? Really? We're getting mugged off. We are getting mugged off as supporters. And as long as you're bankrolling them, buying their shitty kits that they are making, looks like a Michael Barrymore swimming pool, so does our pool of players, let's have it right. And he has the cheek, Jim White, to say, well, why don't you focus instead of protesting on backing your players? Have we not been backing our players for the last 3 years? Are we not backing our players now? We've just won 2 games out of 9. We've just lost back-to-back games to Brighton, who we are based our model upon, and we still want to go and shop there and give them 250 million. And you're saying we don't back our team. This has got nothing to do with the players. This is about how we're run. This is about the intent. The crookery, bro. This is criminal activity at our football club. And these lot are literally milking our football club for a pound note. And I'm always going to expose it. And when he was asked, were you one of those, oh, we've got our Chelsea back? This is the narrative. We got our Chelsea back to say we want our Chelsea back. And he was one of the ones singing it. I mean, what are we doing here? It's showing it's results-based driven. It's not results-based driven. This is not results-based driven. It's gone too far to be that. We've had enough results over this last 3 years. Everyone in this season has declined. We have gone on a decline since this ownership have taken over us. We were in the top 4. We won Club World Cup. We were getting top 4. We were building. We had an elite team. We had a foundation. We had everything there. Cobham Academy. Everything was running as it should be. All it needed was to be built upon. He's gutted it all down to implement their financial structure into the club. Because they loaned 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion. And there's interest for 500 million, interest of almost 13%, and the other 700 million on 4%, whatever it is, from the banks. Because the bank wouldn't give it all to them. It is what it is. Why do you think Strasbourg are protesting? They've been protesting, showing more minerals than our fan base. Our fan base is sad. I'm telling you. I blame all you accounts. Honestly, you're a disgrace. Don't want nothing to do with you. You're a fucking joke. You blue ticks and journalists are a disease. Yeah? You're only in it for self-gain. You're only in it for your own pound notes and benefits. There's supporters out there that do it for the love, not the glory. I'm in it for the love. And my club, our club, has been absolutely decimated. And we got wrong-uns on TalkSPORT, brown-nosing these owners. Like, oh, they spent all the money. They spent all the money. Yeah, what, mate? I can have all that money. And when I go shopping, oh, look at what I bought at Primark. Why are you going Primark? Why don't you go Harrods? Go Hermes. Go and get your Stoney. Go and get your whatever you want to get. Your Yves Saint Laurent. Your Louis Vuitton. What are you shopping at fucking Primark for? We're Chelsea Football Club. Because it's all about resale value on the players. The players are human commodities. They're assets. And they are only seen as assets, and they're treated like assets. And they'll be loaned and shipped out however the fuck they want to be dealt with. And they can't say nothing because they're all NDA'd up as a common theme in American sports especially. And over here, let's have it right. So when you want to create a divide about what's the protest about, it's blue coat out. The lot of them. They can leave. There's no binding contract. And who's going to object to that? Roman? Is Roman going to object to them wanting to sell and shut up shop because the supporters have literally gone against them because they paid out all the PR and all the money to keep what? The supporters on side. The longer they got the supporters on side, they can implement, and then Vivid Seats comes out. They're generating money. They're building the franchise. The model's implemented. The whole hierarchy and layer cakes in. Lovely, very much. Thank you very much. It's exactly as we drew it up. The protests from all the supporters united, once that happens, they're going to want to cut their losses. Trust me. And we'll get an owner because Roman ain't going to oblige. He's not going to stop them. He's not going to block them from selling. He's just told Mikel via his associates he's not happy and he's angry and how he's had his baby robbed off him. So when these two stooges on TalkSPORT want to say, well, how did it end with Roman? Well, we know how it ended with Roman. He was robbed. His money's robbed, his club robbed, and Chelsea supporters robbed of the greatest owner in the history of football. The most successful our club has been under Don Roman for the 18 years amongst any other club in England. So, don't you dare come at Don Roman. That's why we chant his name. We chant his name because there is no comparison. He's our goat. He's our diamond. These lot are the biggest clowns. They're worse than the fucking Glazers. I'm telling you that. I told a year and a half ago, Todd Bowley, Ed Barley, Feliciano, Waters, Wiz. Go and do your research on Wiz. I've tweeted about it. The amount of lawsuits on that geezer, the amount of corruption and political corruption, his agenda on Roman is an absolute disgrace. And I want to put it up because this is who you're supporting, by the way. This is who you're supporting. This guy is part of the consortium. He says, potential Chelsea buyer whiz, not football fan, won't spend big on transfers and only wants club to be rid of Abramovich. He says, has no great liking for football, is driven to buy by his lack of respect for Putin linked to Roman Abramovich and won't splash out to secure silverware. Go and do your research on him. I've got all the links. I'll put them on Twitter. Well, what do you think the others think? He wants his money. Waters wants his money. Guggenheim, Wiz Foundation, Eldridge, Clear Lake, Ares Management, the bank. They all want their money. What, you think you're going to get your money by buying all the top players on high 300 grand a week wages? No. But they got all our real estate and they're banking on the stadium. They're banking on, well, they've trademarked the name Chelsea. Let's have it right. They've done all that. They know the CPO's there. And Chelsea Supporters Trust. When are you going to grow some bollocks? What are you going to wait for Bowley to say and then act? Let's see what he's got to say then. I'm not confident. Not confident. The divide is there. But let's have it right. The day's going to come. And it's truly too late. It will be well too late. So it is what it is. This is my take on everything. Put all your comments down below. Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And I'm going to leave with our Don Roman because that's the standards. And I'm not lowering my standards for no one. Roman Abramovich, we called it, this is Chelsea. This is Chelsea. Right now, this is not Chelsea. Blue coat out. Yeah. Clear Lake out. Bowley out. A lot of them out. Get them out. They're a cancer to our football club. Tomorrow, I'll be going live with Eunice and Gunny. And then after that, myself and Eunice are going on with a fan base that are fucking serious. And real deal. And united. So have it right. So keep your eyes open for that. Salute to everyone. Up the Chelsea, up the Mills FC. Comments down below. Smash the like, subscribe, all that. Let's go.
Roman Abramovich! Roman Abramovich! Roman Abramovich!